Hey guys, I'm Mike.
I'm Liz.
And today we wanted to give you a tour of our 9-acre Idaho homestead.
Welcome to our homestead. Mike and we bought this property about a year ago. It's 9.5 acres. Beforehand, we lived in a little house for 5 years. We're able to sell it for a great price and move on over to this chunk of property. Right now we're walking into our lower landing. This is kind of our storage area. We have an old woodshed that we took from the old house. Both of our wells, we actually have 2 wells that are down here at the lower landing. They're actually not quite hooked up together. That's something we're working on, doing this whole thing debt-free. We have to do everything ourselves and kind of figure it out along the way.
As Liz mentioned, we have 2 wells down here.
4 wells.
2 wells. The first well is over here. That well is about 220 feet deep, but it only produces 15 gallons per hour. No, take that into note, per hour. We have a second well over here, and that well produces about 5 gallons per minute, but the water is still a little bit sandy on all of that. As you can see, we do have some wires across the ground here. That is running the second well. We don't have our water line tied in and our electricity tied into the second well. We only have the house hooked up to the first well right now at the minute. And since that well is so deep, we do have a little bit of water. It's about 300 or so gallons of water in that well. So as long as we mind what we're doing, we don't run out of water. It's once we start irrigating and watering the plants and everything, that's when we really start to run out of water. So we're trying to make the second well a usable well. Hopefully it works out for us.
So we're walking up the driveway from the lower landing to our house. As you can see behind me, a lot of you who know that we've had some trouble with this hillside. You can see that it has slid in the past. Right now we're trying to do a lot of work and planting and watering to help stuff grow on this hillside so we can hopefully avoid future slides and mud and stuff. This last year was really rainy, so we just want to avoid any future mudslides. So here we are at the shop house. Welcome to our shop house, barn dominium. It is a 36 by 48 foot shop house. As you can see, we went with the mono pitch truss. Here in Idaho, the weather can get pretty crazy, a lot of snow, a lot of rain, so we want to shed the water down the mountain.
All right, so come on in, guys. So as you can see, we are still obviously under construction, and for those of you that don't know, Liz and I are actually getting married this summer, about 2 months away. So we have a lot going on, but anyway, here in the shop, you can see we have 16-foot ceilings. And what we did is we split those 16-foot ceilings on one side of the shop. So on one half, we have the living quarters, which turns out just to be a loft. And in that loft, that is about a 9-foot ceiling, possibly 10 in spots. We did go with a lofted ceiling in there. And then underneath, downstairs in the shop side, that is about a 7.5-foot ceiling. So we worked out well on that side. And then on the other half, it ended up being just a full 16-foot. I think it actually was like 16 foot 2 inches or something like that. But it worked out well. We have this huge space to do lots of projects. And then we still have quite a bit of living space upstairs. Let's start by the stairs over here. Check out this water filter system that we have going on here. This is our pressure tank that comes up to our 3 filters. Now we have just a straight up sediment filter in there, and then I believe 2 carbon filters after that. Those are big 20-inch filters. They filter out almost anything from the water. The only other item that we could add to this system would be like a UV light filter. That would be really cool, but doing this all debt-free, it's just one of those things that we haven't gotten around to yet. You can see we went with the tankless hot water heater. That is one of the bigger ones that we got. We are grid tied. We'll just say that right out there. We are trying to move away from that at the moment, try to have like a full off-grid setup for power. And electricity is the only thing that we are grid tied to. For everything else, we are off-grid. So that's the water system, but let's head on upstairs and show you guys the living space. Okay, so welcome to the upstairs, guys. This is like the loft, the living quarters, whatever you want to call it. Right now we're gonna start off in the living room. This is one of the biggest rooms in the living quarters up here. We wanted to keep it nice and big and open as kind of a focal point and a hangout area of the entire living quarters up here. As you can see, we got the wood stove, we got nice big windows, so it's a really cool room to hang out in. It ended up being kind of custom with a few of the things that we had to put together in the carpentry and the construction, but that's kind of the fun in building your own house. We'll move back over towards like the kitchen and the dining room area, I guess you could call it. Off to this side here, you kind of have like a little nook, and that's kind of just for eating, for sitting there, hanging out, doing your things, maybe sitting down and doing some paperwork, sitting there with your laptop, something like that. But enough room to fit a table and a bench and a couple chairs. And then on this side over here, we have the kitchen. We really scored with the appliances on this. Shout out to my grandparents. Thank you guys. They were redoing their kitchen, so these are all used, repurposed appliances. We went with the big style black farmhouse sink and the stainless steel fixtures, so it matches the appliances quite well. A lot of the stuff in here is temporary. Also, the countertops here are still temporary. We have nice thick boards already milled out, some cedar boards ready to go on those. We just need to install them. Lots more work to be done in here as well. Also with these cupboards, thank you Grandma and Grandpa, those came from them too. On this side over here, we've roughed in the bathroom so far. We do have a flushing toilet upstairs, so that's cool. A little bit of flooring that you guys are seeing throughout the house. We have a friend that does flooring, so a lot of these are rem pieces of flooring. Some pieces are new, so thank you to them. But yeah, this is the bathroom. We're gonna do a shower over here on this side. Sink will probably be by the shower over there as well. We got a nice big opening here. This will be a pocket door that we just have not installed yet. Need to get around to that too. So come and check out the bedroom over here. Getting into the bedroom, you can see we did the shiplap cedar siding. That's all done by us. We sawed these boards, milled these boards out. So that came out really nice. We're happy with it. Nice big bedroom here. As you can see, we went with the vaulted ceilings throughout the living quarters, and that really gives it more of an open feel, makes everything feel bigger. All these windows that you guys see throughout the entire building are salvaged windows from our old house. It was a really interesting situation. We have old videos explaining that, but we were able to salvage a lot of parts and pieces from our old house. These windows being one of them. All these are salvage windows, so that's really cool. And back down here on the shop side, we're just kind of in the back side of the shop. We have the bathroom down here for, you know, anybody that's downstairs needs to use the restroom. We got that. We got the big wash tub, basin, sink. That's pretty much a necessity for any shop. As you can see, we did also put the washer and dryer downstairs. Little bit of an inconvenience, but it's kind of one of those things. We had a lot more room for it down here than upstairs in the living quarters. We're really just lucky to have a good washer and dryer, so we'll take it. So moving towards the back door here, before we go outside, I do want to mention that every screw, nail, and board in here has been put or placed by Liz and I. So if you haven't seen any of our older videos, we'll put a link down in the description. There's also a card right up here that you can click on if you want to check out how we built this place. It's pretty wild. You want to check out the chicken coop?
Yeah. So if you come on this way, you can meet our chickens. We have 10 hens. This is their first year, so we moved them outside a couple of months ago, and they are absolutely thriving. Mike and I actually built this coop. We moved it from our old property to our new property, so they love this little coop. Has little windows, laying area. It's pretty great. The chickens aren't laying any eggs, but they should be coming at any point. We're gonna head on up to the top. This is one of our favorite pieces of the property.
Three-quarters way there, right?
Right.
The last part, the worst part, almost.
Right, we are at the top. So I did measure it one time, and it's about 500 steps and 300 feet in elevation, but we absolutely love it up here. We have plans to build a big deck, maybe one day a cabin, but we come up here to enjoy the view and just hang out and absolutely just enjoy the nature. So we know for sure we're going to start with a deck up here, but we'd love it if you guys would comment below and tell us what you think would be cool up here. We're kind of torn between a few things. So we're going to head back down and go around the other side of the mountain now.
All right, let's go down to the backside. So our property is like kind of shaped like a piece of pie. Really kind of wonky piece of pie, but piece of pie nonetheless. So we own pretty much a miniature mountain. Like Liz said, it's about 200 to 300 foot elevation, and we don't own many flat spots. There is a little bit of a flat spot at the front side on the bottom, the lower landing that you guys first saw in the beginning, and there's a little bit of a flat spot on the backside down here. So let's go check that out. Another really interesting thing about our property is the train tracks is our property line. So we actually have a train tunnel going through this mountain right underneath us as we're speaking right now. That is our property line between our property and the other person's property. It's pretty cool.
So welcome to the backside.
Lovely spot.
Lovely spot. Like Mike said, our piece of property is shaped kind of like a piece of pie, I guess you said. The road that we are on right now connects back to the front side. Right now we don't have anything back here. It's just, you know, woods. We use it for walking and snowmobiling and stuff like that. And if we need to get around, you know, through this gate with a vehicle or something.
Yeah, the whole property was logged quite a while ago. So there's some old trails and logging roads that are cut into it that actually work really well for like hiking trails, and I've actually even hunted off of them almost successfully. So there's, you know, wildlife around for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, just another, you know, little zone to our property.
Yeah. So you want to go back to the front?
Yeah, let's go back to the front.
Okay. We made it.
That's a pretty good hike.
I'm sweating.
Yeah, that to and from the backside, yeah, good one.
Good one for sure.
I like it. Yeah, it's a cool chunk of property. Hopefully that you guys enjoyed the tour of our 9.5 acre debt-free Idaho homestead. Homestead.
If you like this video and you like us, maybe you could think about liking and subscribing.
Yeah.
Stick around and you can follow our journey.
Yeah, watch us finish this place and kind of wrap everything together and see where it goes.
And have some fun along the way.
Exactly. Laid back living.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.